TV show, and this program is officially sponsored by Recruitment Properties.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Journey TV show, and I am your host, Okoye Ijomadikta. And today we have a special guest in the studio. She's a recruitment specialist and a corporate communication expert. She is going to be showing us how she was able to build her own brand, her journey so far, and how you too can build a brand in the human resource sphere. So we have Gloria Alado in the studio, and she's going to be sharing with us how she built a brand in the human resource sphere. Hello Gloria, and welcome to today's show. How are you today?
Hello Dicta, thank you very much.
Thank you. So you talked about sourcing jobs for people, but then a lot of persons say there are no jobs in the corporate world. How then do you do what you do? Is there a myth? Is there a secret to it?
I think there is no secret. One thing about job searching, one important aspect is networking. So when you get to connect with people, you're not connecting with them for the present, you're connecting with them for the future.
Okay.
So when you find the right network, it's easier to get jobs. And there are jobs everywhere, high-paying jobs. It's just to find the right person who can give you a job. Okay. Because most times people connect with, we have different industries and we have different recruiters in the industry. Like for me, I might be recruiting for HR industry, I might be recruiting for tech, I might not be recruiting non-tech. So if you connect with me, I might just redirect you to another person recruiting for non-tech. Okay. So when you connect with the right person recruiting for that particular role you're looking for, then it's easier.
Oh, great. So basically, we're going to come back to that again, but today we want to have you share your journey as a recruitment specialist. How were you able to build a profitable brand on the social media space? Because we understand that a lot of persons who want to go into this particular field may not understand what it takes to build a brand around human resource management and recruitment specializing as a niche. So can you share with us your journey so far? What has the journey been? How did you start and where are you now?
Funny enough, the journey has been rough. It's not easy in the HR world because you see candidates looking for more offers, companies giving you deadlines, companies giving you what to and what not to do. And most times you get yourself towards people who don't want to listen to you, your own side of the story. You might be recruiting for this particular thing and the job description, you telling the hiring manager, see, this thing is not working, and most times people don't want to listen to you. That's the hard part of it. But I think one thing in HR is finding your space. HR has different aspects of it. If you want to be a sourcing specialist, if you want to do full-time, if you just want to be a HR generalist or that. So you have to find particular space you want to work in the HR industry, then stick to it.
Oh, great. So there are various niches in the HR sectors.
Exactly.
Now, if I decide to go into the HR sector, do you think there is a special niche, or do you think there's a more profitable niche than the other, or do you think anybody can just go into any niche and become successful at it?
I think for me, I enjoy the sourcing aspect of HR. Because you can do it on your own and with an organization. On your own, you can source for international clients. You can work with international clients, And one thing about sourcing is, sometimes people bring candidates to you to just interview. But if you start from the basics, sourcing, it becomes easier for you. Because you're going to a particular person and you know that this particular person knows what he or she is doing. So interview becomes easier. So it's just like probably I'm sourcing for a content writer. Through networking, I understand that this person is good for this job. And I just go directly see, I have this particular job in this particular company. It's for content writers. So you've gotten to know this person long time before that particular role. So it's easier to connect with them, pitch jobs and all that.
Okay, so you enjoy the sourcing part of it. Great. It's talking about building relationships and network. You know, a lot of persons think it's just about probably going to the university, coming out, and no network, no connections. And think that's something very important that people should pay attention to. But we're going to come back to that, Gloria. So we want to talk about building a brand in the human resource sphere. A lot of persons want to do what you're doing. You say you're a recruitment specialist. But before then, can you tell us, what do you do as a recruitment specialist?
I source for candidates and for organizations in different roles.
Okay. So you help organizations to get jobs, you help them
best talent.
You help them get the best talent.
Yes, sourcing is not all about just bringing people who say I am a content writer.
Yeah.
It's about looking for who is the best content writer,
Okay.
and matching it to the best organization.
Oh, super, super. So you help organizations get the best talent for that. I think it's something that's also very commendable, because I get organizations and employers who keep saying they get to hire people, and in 1 month the people are giving them headache and all of that. So, okay, great. And as a corporate communication expert, what do you do?
I do CV writing, cover letters, statements of purpose, a lot of things.
Okay.
And I also am a content creator.
Okay.
I help HR department or industry write content, especially on social media pages.
Oh, super. So that's amazing. Well, we want you to share with us your journey so far. We know that you have been able to build a brand. I, for one, know that you're doing amazingly well in the human resource space. So how were you able to start, and how have you been able to get on your journey? We want you to share your journey with us today.
Okay, actually, I started as a job seeker,
a
full-time job seeker, then to a sourcing specialist. I can remember in 2019, that was during my service here. I was looking for a job after the whole the 2-1 first class, 2-2 and all that. So I came across a job ad from an Indian company sourcing for Philippines, candidates in Philippines in call center company. So I registered. There was no experience there. They said entry level. They're going to teach you how to do it. I felt, okay. First, I felt, let me just do this because I was looking for a job.
Yeah.
At least I can get something from it. So later on, I started building likeness for the job, for HR department. Then I said, okay, let me just further studies, take up courses, and do a lot of that.
Oh, super. So that's also another part where we talk about clarity. You know, most times the thing you want to do, you might not get the clarity at first instance. But as you keep going, the clarity begins to come. So while you were at the job, you're able to take courses and take, resources that would help you to build a brand in the human resource space. So are there things you want to talk about building a brand in the human resource space?
Building a brand is not something that happens like Saturday and Sunday. It takes time. Building a personal brand takes time, it takes resources and all that. So first thing is finding your space. It's very important.
Yeah.
So when you know this is my space, social media is so large.
Absolutely.
You find your space. In finding your space, you're finding your niche.
Yeah.
In finding your niche, you're finding which platform works best for you.
Absolutely.
In finding which platform, you're finding industry experts to follow and understand how it's done. So building a personal brand is not something you just say, I want to be a recruiter and that is it. So it takes time, it takes resources. You learn, unlearn and relearn.
Awesome, great. So now we talk about building on social media.
Yeah.
Are there platforms you think that people can actually start with? For instance, we have a lot of platforms on social media. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, we have Pinterest. Are there specific platforms that anybody who wants to get into the human resource sphere should be able to pay attention to?
I think the important aspect of human resource is knowing where you stand, knowing the kind of roles you are sourcing for. There are some levels you don't see on Facebook, people on Facebook. When you're looking for top levels, managers of companies and all that, you don't easily find them on Facebook. So at that moment, you got to move to LinkedIn.
Oh, great.
There's where you get to connect with them one-on-one, understand them, understand what they do, and you can pitch jobs to them.
Awesome. So LinkedIn is a perfect place for anyone who wants to go into the human resource sphere.
Dependent.
Oh, dependent.
So when I'm looking for an entry-level role, I go to Facebook.
Okay.
I use Facebook a lot when it comes to Facebook page. I just post ad, I get people coming to me, this, that. But there's a kind of role, you're looking for. You just have to go to LinkedIn.
Oh.
And they can only listen to you when they see you are serious. So building a brand on LinkedIn is not same as building a brand on Facebook. It's totally different.
Now, are there struggles you encountered when you started? Because, this is a TV show that is peculiar to business owners. As we know, there are a lot of persons keep saying, I can't build a brand on social media because of the competition there. Are there struggles you encountered? What are the competition fears that came to your mind? What are the struggles you had when you started?
First, I think it was on Facebook when I was a sourcing specialist for a Philippines company. You get to see a Filipino. You need a job, and they call you scammer.
Oh.
And that's the problem. So I left Facebook and moved to LinkedIn. Then I started from scratch because I need to build a brand. I needed people to see what I do. So when I come to them, they'll be like, okay, she's legit.
Yeah.
So that's how I moved from Facebook to LinkedIn. And building a brand on LinkedIn is another struggle on it too. You get to see so many experts. Like, you feel they're not doing anything. Sometimes you see this person celebrating, I got that, I got this, and you feel, okay, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
So the thing is, you have to set your mindset right. Understand that my journey is different from your journey.
Absolutely.
My industry is different from your industry. So instead of comparing someone's 5 years experience with your 6 months of experience, just focus on your journey. Stay on your lane. Learn, be open to learning. Understand that if you don't know this thing, you have to ask questions.
Oh.
So basically, that's what I did. I started from scratch. I started following HR, people who have built brand on LinkedIn. HRs who have built brand. I started saying, how do you do this? How do you do that? I started borrowing their audience. I started borrowing their audience. When you do same thing, it's easier to get same audience.
Yeah.
So I started understanding how she creates, they create content, how they show up, how they build followers, pictures they use and all that. Because one thing about social media is that there are strategies that work for different social media and time too. So when you build your time zone, you're building your time zone based on who you are talking to. It's about who, what, where, and how. So when you get what, where, and how. So if you say, I want to do this, I'm writing about this particular topic. Now, it is what you're writing on. Now, you have to find who do you want to hear this. Determines where you paste it on.
Yeah.
If it's something you know that can get more crowd on Facebook, you have to move to Facebook. If you're doing a dance or a singing, you have to move to TikTok. If you're writing long episodes, you have to move to Facebook. If you want top, you have to move to LinkedIn. So I think one thing is about understanding your goal first. Understanding who your most important viewers are is very important, so you don't speak to the wrong crowd. Because you might be building a brand, a personal brand for so long. It's not about the followers, it's not about the likes, it's about the lead generation.
Absolutely.
And the goal of your content.
Okay, great. So you heard her share her struggles and how she was able to get started in the human resource fair. Now, there are a lot of things that she has to share with us today, but we're going to be going on a short break and we will be right back soon.
At Leku Trade Properties, we help individuals, families, and corporate bodies to acquire real estate as well as own profitable real estate investments that generate recurring residual income. Whether it's buying land anywhere in Nigeria, meeting your housing needs, or investing in real estate, Leku Trade Properties is the real estate company you need to make your dream a reality. Call us now on 0701 861 2480 or send an email to info@lekutradeproperties.com. Leku Trade Properties, a place you can call home.
Hello and welcome back. This is the Journey TV show, and already we have in the studio Gloria Alado, and she has been telling us how she has been able to build a profitable brand in the human resource fair. And she shared a lot about building a brand. And the last thing she talked about was process. So, talking about process, do you think that there is a time frame for anybody who wants to go into the human resource fair? Because we hear people say before you can be able to build a brand on social media, it's going to take 3 years, it's going to take 5 years. Do you think that there is a time frame for building a brand on social media? And not just building any brand, building a profitable brand.
I think the only time frame is your personal time zone.
Oh.
If you're out and you know you are out to do this, you can. I've seen so many young people within one viral post can make you like from 0 to 20,000 followers.
Yeah,
and
that's so true.
so starting, as people say, to start is the problem, but keeping on is the problem.
Yeah.
So you've started, they've known you, oh, she's good, she's that. People keep coming up. Now you will get to see experts who are more than you. How do you stand out? So there is no time about it, it's just your own personal time. If you know you can do this and you are ready to do it, then
You're good. So people should pay attention to starting and then being consistent at what they do, because I think that's a problem most people have. They just get to start things, you know, they're so excited about starting, but you know, when they experience one struggle or the other, they get stuck on the way. I think it's something people need to pay attention to.
One thing about consistency, it's not just showing up.
Okay.
You don't just say you're consistent by posting content on social media. It doesn't work that way. I tell people consistency is showing up rightly. If you're showing up on Monday, if you're showing up on Tuesday, show up with a bang. Like when you show up, let people know, she's here. Oh. It's not about just posting content, getting 4 likes, getting 100 likes. Sometimes your content does not have a goal, and that's the problem. Yeah. People just post. Oh, they've known me. One of my posts went viral. Let me just keep posting. They post anything out of their personal brand, relating to their personal brand, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
So if you want to be consistent, you have to be consistent in your brand voice.
Okay.
The purpose of your brand too. And it's not just posting content every day. It's posting something of value.
Yeah.
If you're not posting today, you're engaging. If you're not engaging, you're networking. So consistency is not just showing up, it's showing up rightly.
Yeah, so and that is actually one of our goals at Sewing, to help you ensure that you're not doing just actions, activities, but you are getting results. And when we talk about writing and communication, it's something everybody needs. In whatever you're doing on the social media space, you need to learn how to write, you need to learn how to communicate. So if you are not getting it right, you would find it difficult to actually build your brand. So I think it's something you want to pay attention to today going forward. So Gloria, let's talk about the pre-COVID and the post-COVID part of recruitment. Now, the truth is this: during the pre-COVID, recruitment wasn't as difficult as it was post-COVID, and even during the COVID period, because we could remember those times we said a lot of persons lost their job, a lot of persons could not, get into the various vacancies that were available. So I think that there are a lot of changes that has happened in the recruitment space. Do you think that there is something that people need to pay attention to now, especially in the post-COVID world?
I think during COVID, when it comes to the recruitment, it helped a lot.
Okay.
Like as a sourcing specialist, during COVID, we moved from physical interview to online. You can see people can actually move their office to their house.
To their house.
It becomes very easy. You see, most companies feel, no, you are more productive in the office. They now understand that at home, in the office, anybody that sets out to be productive is productive.
Absolutely.
Because you can't say this person is productive because he or she is in the office. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. All right, so are there things that people need to pay attention to in this post-COVID era? Because, a lot of persons studied with the mindset of the physical workplace. Everybody wants to get a job that they are going to go to the office. Everybody wants to get a physical placement. Now, do you think that there are things people need to pay attention to in order for them to cope with the post-COVID era? The post-COVID era, are there things people should pay attention to?
I think one thing people should pay attention to is upskilling.
Okay.
Because during COVID, a lot of people were reading. People were taking up courses. And you see, most times when we came out from the COVID, you say, I lost my job. It's not just because you lost your job. They saw someone who is more effective.
Yeah, who is more better.
Exactly. So if you pay more attention to upskilling, if you see that these skills are needed in your niche, follow it up. Yeah. I get to see a lot of people, they are applying for one particular job with just, I can use MS Word, I can use that, probably, let me say for an example, an accountant, I can use that. And when they see QuickBooks, can you use QuickBooks? They'll be like, no, I cannot, and leave it. Okay. You're doing this for like 6 times. You keep saying QuickBooks, what comes to your mind? To learn QuickBooks. But people don't understand the aspect of upskilling and how it helps. They just keep shouting, you gave me rejection, no. I tell people most times, not all no means next opportunity.
Oh.
Sometimes it means your CV is bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes it means you did not prepare yourself. Sometimes it means this is a job for a social media manager and you're an accountant. So people just come up and apply for any jobs just because they're job searching. Yeah. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. So, and I think it's something people need to pay attention to, especially our young ones. A lot of persons think it's just about going to school and coming out, but they're not even thinking about upskilling. So they need to start paying attention to the extra skills, the soft skills that are needed in the corporate space. Now, are there certain soft skills, apart from the quick book part, are there other soft skills you think people should pay attention to?
One of the skills I think everybody should understand or know is writing, content creation. If you want to bring your brand on social media, you have to understand the act of content creation. It's a must. People get to read from you. If you want to go global, you have to understand the act of content creation. You just sometimes you know something, it's just how to put it out becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So learning how to put what you know is a skill on its own.
Absolutely. So content creation is something that everybody needs to pay attention to. And you have heard this. If you are looking to get into the corporate world, you should learn how to write. And not just how to write, but how to write professionally, efficiently. All right, so you do not want to be that person who goes into the corporate world and they ask you, what skill do you have? And the only thing you have to tell them is, I studied so and so. You want to be that person who, aside from the things you said you study, you should be able to tell them that you have so and so soft skills. You can write, you can use MS Word, you can use various solutions that are relevant to your own niche or to that industry that you want to get into. This is where we're going to be calling it a wrap for today, and we are going to be having fantastic guests on our show going forward. You don't want to miss any of the show, right? So subscribe to this channel so that as soon as we get any of our videos on board, you should be able to get notified. Until I see you next time, my name is Ijoma Dicta and I'm your host for this show. Bye.
At Leku Trade Properties, we help individuals, families, and corporate bodies to acquire real estate as well as own profitable real estate investments that generate recurring residual income. Whether it's buying land anywhere in Nigeria, meeting your housing needs, or investing in real estate, Leku Trade Properties is the real estate company you need to make your dream a reality. Call us now on 0701 861 2480 or send an email to info@lekutradeproperties.com. Leku Trade Properties, a place you can call home.